Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday and I'm out on my hike in my old neighborhood in the ponds, and I just thought I would come to you for another episode of Forgiveness on the Fly. This is actually episode number 44, I believe. I didn't bring any paper with me, so I'm guessing on all things. But what I do know is I want to talk about things that aren't fair and things that shouldn't have happened to you. So let's go ahead and begin with some affirmations and forgiveness statements on things that aren't fair and things that shouldn't have happened to you. I'm actually down by the water, so I'm going to go ahead and take a few steps down. I've got about 20 pounds, about 15 pounds in my light pack on my back, and I'm just taking in all the beauty today. So let's go ahead and begin. I forgive myself for believing I can't get over this thing that should have never happened to me. And unless something changes and I can go back and undo that crazy thing, I'll never be able to heal and forgive. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for believing that's not fair and that should have never happened. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for any time I got away with something that wasn't fair for someone else, but didn't even think about how it affected them. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for believing things are right and things are wrong. It's black and white and everything should come out fair. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for being so rigid about the fairness of the world and living in a world that simply isn't fair. Deep breath in. I forgive the people around me who get away with treating people the way they do and treating people unfairly, and nobody stops them. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for the times I was in charge of deciding fair for someone else. The times when I was an officer and I got to give tickets and arrest people, and my opinion or my beliefs played into whether it was fair or not. Deep breath in. I forgive all the stuff I bring from my generation and my childhood that makes me believe it's right or wrong, black or white, and everything has to be fair. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for believing if you do the right thing, you eat the right foods, you exercise, you should never get cancer. But the truth is, somebody that eats kale can still get cancer. And how is that fair? Deep breath in. I forgive myself for believing it would always be fair in my life and having lots of situations in my life where it really wasn't fair, where I was the victim, and then times when I was the person doing the unfair thing and the other person was the victim. Deep breath in. I raise my level of acceptance to knowing that life is not fair. And sometimes you're on the upswing of it and sometimes you're not. And we all still have the same access to love and forgiveness and healing, even on the things that don't seem fair. Deep breath in. I forgive the things in my life that have made me have this rigidity and negativity about the unfair world we live in. And I call up all of that rigidity and that negative emotion out of every cell of my mind, my body, and my spirit. And I release it to God. And that opens massive space where I can even forgive the unforgiving, unfair, horrific things that happen in my life, that happen to the people I love, and the things that happen in this world of unfair. Deep breath in. I say yes to unfair, and I release it from my mind, body, and spirit. I say yes to believing things are supposed to be fair, and I release that too. And I give it all over to God. Deep breath in. Without this pattern of believing that the right things should happen to good people and that they should never experience unfair or horrible things, I'm free to open massive space where I don't hold energy towards things that aren't fair. I don't focus on the unfair part. I focus on the healing part. I focus on the forgiveness part, and I focus on me, not the others. Deep breath in. Thank you, God, for joining us in this beautiful sunshine. Deep breath in. I forgive the people in my life that do unfair things. I forgive myself for being a person that's done unfair things. I raise my level of acceptance to letting go of the unfair in the world and accepting that there's a whole lot of gray. And by that, I don't mean like political gray. I don't mean gray where you can do all, you can go murder people and it's okay, right? I just mean there's a forgiveness piece on all of it. And you have to know your own beliefs and values and check yourself and make sure that you're aligned with God so that you're making the right decisions for you. That would be for Him as well. And deep breath in. Without this pattern, I'm free. I can love and accept myself even when things are unfair. Deep breath in. Without this pattern, I'm free. I can love and accept myself even when horrible things happen to good people. Deep breath in. Without this pattern, I can keep hiking up this hill and breathe good enough to talk to you guys at the same time. And deep breath in. Without this pattern, I can love and accept even the people that do unfair things. I can acknowledge that accidents happen. I can acknowledge there's good and evil in this world. And I'm not the judge or the boss of all the good and evil in this world, or the person that gets to decide the fair and the unfair. Deep breath in. Without this pattern, I'm free to love and accept myself and be okay when things are unfair. Deep breath in. Without this pattern, I can fight my battles on my knees, praying, lifting people up, trying to be a good human, and realizing that sometimes even when you do all the right things, you get something bad in your life. You get a negative thing, and you got to make it through it so you can get on to the next thing. Deep breath in. I love and accept myself knowing I made it up that small hill and that in a few weeks, I have to make it up an even higher, not so small hill as I take on the women's hike in about 5 weeks. That's why I'm training out here so hard. Deep breath in. One more deep breath in, guys. All right, that's it for today. I'm going to continue. Okay, that's it for today. I'm going to continue my next 4 miles, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow on another episode of Forgiveness on the Fly. Bye. Have a great Saturday.